One of the ways you control the Kayenne switcher is with emems. There are 1,000 emems. Both switcher and DPM effects can have keyframes with spline motion. There are two components, though, to the master emem system that are very, very powerful. One is called partial keyframing, and the other one is called define emem. Partial keyframing allows me to have an independent timeline or keyframe for each of the elements of that ME. For example, key 1 versus key 2 versus key 3 versus key 4. And you can actually see this in the timeline menu as I go through each of these emems back to DPM 1, 2, and 4. They're all separate independent timelines. There are, in fact, 23 sub-timelines per ME. And not only can you add elements of the ME inside a partial timeline, you can also add non-ME components like P-bus and aux-bus control and have those as independent timelines with inside a local emem. Macros are another way to control your switcher. There are 999 macros which can be accessed throughout the control panel. For example, the keyer buses on each stripe or the aux-bus panel, and you can put macros here and also put macros there. There's also a macro shot box right below the local emem keypad, and you can store 20 preset macros inside each local emem. There's also a macro menu which allows you to record any of the 999 macros and add to the end of a macro by pressing append. You can also have macro timelines and incorporate a macro within a timeline on an independent miscellaneous level. Attachments allow you to put any macro on any control panel button as a replace attach, post attach, or pre-attach. When you're doing a replace attach, they actually turn a flashing color of yellow, and when you run the macro, they actually turn orange. The settings for those are stored in panel preferences. Another use of macros is to control any part of the switcher, including the MEs, DVEs, but you can also use macros to control configurations like button mapping. An additional way to control external devices, including servers, is the Device Control Module, or DCM. This optional module provides full motion control for up to 20 devices. You can use QMEM to learn and recall one or more clips on multiple servers. So now on server 1, I'll recall QMEM 1, hit play, QMEM 2, and then QMEM 3, and play, and also can jog that clip with the DCM. On the right-hand monitor, server 2, and again I can recall different QMEMs and play those clips and jog them as well. The advantage of the DCM and the 1000 QMEMs are their independence from emem. The library eliminates the need to tie up multiple emem registers with the same clip for an effect. You will find that QMEMs are an independent file type in the Show File menu. One of the game-changing features for TDs is source rules. It allows you on a source-by-source basis to associate background sources with key layers automatically. But the real advantage of source rules is that you can actually preset your rule and see your rule ahead of time. And as I'm going through each one of these cross points, the right-hand monitor is showing the preview output of that ME with the associated rule. Once you do a transition, you can preset another source and see a different rule for that particular source. For TDs, this is very vital to reduce emems and macros, and for directors, you can actually preview those complex key-source relationships.